Hey everyone! By the way, this channel is new, and I have some stories from Reddit about service dogs and Karens. A Karen story that happened at my work. So I'm a server in a restaurant? Today we were slightly busy just like any other day. I'm the manager, so I tried to help the other servers with stuff. One of the servers So I'm a server in a restaurant? Today we were slightly busy just like any other day. I'm the manager, so I tried to help the other servers with stuff. One of the servers had their table's food come up, so I took the first few plates out for her. It was for a lady with her husband, her kid and her mother. She had the short-dyed Karen hairdo, and I just got a bad vibe from her. They said we need ketchup. I said okay, 1 second. So I went back to get their other plates, and grabbed the ketchup. And when I come back, this bitch is standing in the server's station, helping herself to ketchup and stuff. She didn't even give me a chance to get it for her. Was like, you're not allowed back there. And she very nastily said, well, I just went back there. And I said, well, don't do it again. And by this time she was back at her table, and we were talking loudly in front of the other patrons. She said, that's fine, I'll just talk to the manager. And I said, I am the manager. Haha, it felt so good. She shut up, and didn't say another word the whole time they were there. She also stiffed the other waitress, which I felt really bad about. Oh, and then later her husband came in, and talked to the owner, and said that I was really rude, and really embarrassed her. Literally, fuck Karens. You are the jerk op. I'm not disabled enough according to Karen. I've mentioned to my therapist a few times how I struggle with what people might think of me, and this has actually been a fear of mine. Being told I need to prove just how disabled I am because I don't look disabled enough. I always thought it was an unrealistic fear, so of course, it had to happen. I was at a theme park yesterday with friends. Since you read the title I'm sure you can imagine, we looked into some sort of special access pass. I have a rather odd leg condition. It has a name, but I'm not sure what it's called in English, but it's sort of an infection in the ankle bone that has caused permanent damage. Needless to say, getting in rides and such takes me a little longer. Standing in line all day was something I'd like to avoid. And hey, the theme park is accommodating. They offer a special pass. Mind you, this isn't a fast pass, or anything. It just puts you in a separate line, where there's room for wheelchairs, and seats for people like me. Overall, the waiting time was pretty much the same, but they help a lot with getting into the ride if you're in this line. That's it for today. Please come back and sub and like as you leave. Bye. Have a nice day and bye. To get the pass you didn't need to show anything proving your disability, but it did say you could be subject to being asked to prove it. Fair enough. I wear special shoes. One is basically a knee-high boot and it stands out, which most of the employees saw. They checked my pass, and everything was fine. I did have the diagnosis from my doctor's screenshot just in case they would ask. The employees didn't, but Karen is a whole other story. I'm standing in line with my companions when someone comes walking up behind us. There were a few people in front of us too. I heard the woman make a noise of disappointment at how long the line was. The woman lit up a cigarette. A bit rude to do in line, and my friend has asthma, so he asked her to move back a little. That's where the problem started. Karen makes a noise I can only describe as the call of a Karen. She did move back but screeched something about how we had to make sure the employee would know she was there, and that no one cut in line. Not an unreasonable request honestly, but it could have been said in a kinder manner. The employee comes out and checks everyone's pass. They do this because the pass has a mention of whether the visitor will need extra help getting in or not. The employee asked our group who has the pass, so I showed him. Everything is fine. They asked Karen too, and she showed hers. She's finished her cigarette and joins the line again, this time asking, "So, what's your disability?" I tell her it's something to do with my leg, and I point at my shoes. She seemed displeased by it, saying that's not a disability. I'm asking if you are disabled. I'm a little thrown off. I'm willing to share it, but it's also something private, and it doesn't concern her. I tell her I have an ankle condition, and turn around to stop talking to her. Something to note here, she did have a child with her, though by all appearances there was nothing visibly disabled about them. Not my proudest moment, but the thought of her faking a disability did cross my mind. But I didn't speak on it. The Karen kept talking to me though. All the usual stuff, to stop ignoring her, that I should respect my elders, blah blah blah. Other people are starting to notice, and we're drawing a bit of attention here. One of my friends, a bit comfortable with confrontation, and knowing I'm not, said it's none of your business. You wouldn't like it if we asked what you or your daughter's disability is either. To which, she responded, my child is autistic, so she's actually disabled. The employee comes out again, letting people in, and when they reach us she tells them this boy isn't disabled at all. Remove him from the line please. I'm 28 years old by the way, hardly a boy. The employee looks at us, then back to Karen and says well they have the facility pass, and we check those. So he gets cut off, and she starts talking about how her daughter is autistic, and I'm clearly not. I responded and said something like, yeah, I'm not autistic, but I do have a disability. These shoes aren't exactly a fashion choice. The employee definitely didn't want to be a part of this, and told the woman to leave us be. He let in a few people, my group included, but not the Karen. In the hallway to the right he said, wow, what was that about? Something I haven't mentioned up until now. I'm pretty much blind. The reason I say this is because I don't look blind, or so I've been told at least. Because of this, it sadly isn't the first time someone has questioned just how disabled I am. I told the employee it happens sometimes sadly. I thanked the employee for their help, and enjoyed the ride. But man, fuck that Karen. That's it for today. Please come back and sub and like as you leave my studio. Bye. Have a nice day. The following film is partnership with DJ, AC also film, and if copyright is a legal issue of my vids I will take you up to court.